Hello and welcome to the Geekerhood. I am Steen, your Geek Money Nerd Dumbs. Welcome to day 9 of 3 Dice and a Craft. Done by Steen with a Migraines. It's fun. We're going to have fun. Okay, let's do this. Alright. Chessex first, as usual. Let's see what we get. Today's day 9. I can count. I'm pretty impressed with that. On a day I have a migraine. Alright, there. There's 9. Let's see what we got. Open. 2 dice today. So today we have more of that fun green and red, kind of confetti marbleized. What's really funny is how popular this kind of thing is. If you look in Pound O Dice, like you go someplace that has like a dice bin, where they have all sorts of different dice from that you can pick from. A lot of those, most of the time, are going to be Pound dice from Chessex. And a lot of times they're experiments, and they make these kind of confetti-looking things with little bits of the plastic they use, the plastic or resin. And these are cool. I like that they did it kind of intentional with the red and white and green. So, all right, fan roll. As we have discussed, I am an affiliate, so, if you like fan roll dice and you want to get some for the holidays, now's the time. 10% discount. At that very least, it'll cover shipping, and plus whatever specials they got going on. What do we got here? D12s do not like coming out. Note to self. Alright, so. Alright, I'm feeling a little basic here. That's not a bad thing. I mean, I think the font is nice. The black and red's good contrast. It'll make it really nice and visible. But I'm not really seeing anything special in the coloring. No, they've got kind of that blue sheen. That's kind of nice. But, nice, good, solid die. Very readable. Solid die. Alrighty. And then next we've got 6th year of Q Workshop. Let's see what we get today. Where's 9 hiding? Oh, there. Right in the middle. What we got? What we got? And we have... Ooh. I am not sure what set that's from. That's kind of... It's a present. It's a Prezi die. Oh, look at that. So that's probably the 6, which means that's the 1. Oh, that's cute. Oh, I see. It's all the sides of the present. So this is the bottom. And these are the sides. And the top with the bow. Oh, that's cute. And it's blue glitter. So how can you go wrong? That's adorable. All right. Thank you, Q Workshop. That is delightful. I'm pleased. All right. Now, craft time. We are today... I've got to put it this way because my table's not that big. Day 9. What do we get? Oh, that door didn't want to open. It's all ripped. Today, we are making a Noel. Alright, let me find the edge. Come here. Be nice. It's not always nice. I will say that, for $8 for this, while I can't say this is the most crazy, exciting thing I've ever had, this would be fun to do with family and little kids. Do not run away. The pom-poms are trying to escape. This would be fun to do with your kids because there's a lot of different stuff in here that you can do. So it's kind of like very age-friendly. What, do I have enough to do? 2? What's going on here? Alright. Punch felt letters out. Okay. Oh, I see. So we've got one that's the letters and one that's the backer. Oh, I see. Okay. Oh, and this has the sticky on the back, so get the pieces out. So we're punching letters out. punch out if there's, oh, there's not a little thing on that one. Okay, so we want to carefully put these on with the ribbon sticking out from these. So we're gonna, I think we'll do, assuming the ribbon will cooperate, I'm gonna put on the ones for the appropriate letters first. Okay. We have an N. Does it really matter which direction? We're going to go with that. All right, so we have, you are going under there. There we go. And then looks like the other one they have you put it by the E. So we'll put the E on next, just so I can get that attached. Come here. Be a good little ribbon. Okay. There. Yeah. There we go. Better. So now we continue. Oh, there's an inner circle on, there's an outline of the inner circle of the O. Don't forget the outline of the inner circle of the O. Why? Why do I need to? Does it really need to be that close? I don't think it needs it. I think that's good enough. All right, so now we are doing pom-poms. All right. How do we want to do this? I'm going to do what they're doing. I'm going to do green on the N and E and red on the other ones. So time to deal with glue dots. Yay. This is going to be entertaining because this is me and glue dots. All right. And of course, we're going to be somewhat methodical on this. I have extra glue dots in case I screw a bunch up, you know, because as you do. But, oh, come here. Be nice. Other crafting, I got my Wooble stuff yesterday. So I've got my little bitty Woobles. I will show them off on my stream on Wednesday, the ones I've done. But I've been enjoying them. My surprise one, because I did the mystery Wooble, I got the milk from Milk and Cookies. So I will be crocheting a little milk carton, which I think will be adorable. Now I want the cookie, but I think I can figure out how to make the cookie. I don't think it's going to be that hard. But you don't. Nope. Get off my finger and stay on the felt. Thank you. Glue dots these days. All right, let's see what we got here. Go. Come on. Off. I had my crochet program last night at work, and it went really well. I did have a giggle because one of the skills we were learning, there were 2 new stitches to learn last night for the pattern I made. I made it. I mean, admittedly, I used other people's patterns as inspiration, but, you know, I did it. I came up with all this stuff myself. Go there. But Magic Circle was one of the things we had to do, or Magic Loop, whatever you want to call it. It is a pain. it is so hard to learn. I have to say that's the one. I think learning to do it myself was seriously tricky because what you end up doing, and I can do a video on this sometimes if folks want, but there's this trick you have to do with it that you have to make a loop to start with, and then you create the slip knot so that you can pull it through and make it tight so that you get that little tight. Let me grab somebody that's got an end that you can see it on. Oh dear. Come here. Oh, you've got one. Oh, there. See that? I hit the thing again. Come on, be nice, camera. Start working. Come on. You want to be a nice camera? Thank you. Okay. I hit the key. I swear, when I get my new computer next year, the goal is before the end of the year next year. I'm hoping by like June, maybe I can afford it. Maybe if they have a sale, it'll be sooner. But really, we did it again. Come on. You are a nice camera. I'm talking nice to the camera. Be the wonderful, wonderful camera we know you are. You want to work with me here. No, that's not how we do this. Come on. You are a good camera. I really think that the issue with this purely is that I am dealing with, put that down, that this is, I have to use a USB C to USB A connector, and I think that makes it wobbly in the socket. All right. We have refreshed you. Come on. You are a good camera. You are a good connector. Be nice. There we go. Okay. Maybe. Oh, it made it tiny again? Really? That's not right. Come on, you can focus properly. I hate when it does this because then it readjusts its focal. All right, let me try this. I'm coming. I swear, normally doesn't do this. My little aggravating friend. All right. We're going to unplug it and replug it because it's being silly. All right. There. Configure video. Okay, there. Good. It's back the way it should be. I just have to shrink the window again because it's being silly. Ugh. You can be a nice camera and work for me. Normally this all happens behind the scenes because I can get it done ahead of time. But no, we're going to be cranky. All right, there we go. All right, so magic circle. See on the top of this little bit in the center? That is the magic circle. Oh, really? We're going to be aggravating again. I didn't touch anything. Magic circle. All right. Oh dear. You are being testy again. Okay. So, yes. Magic circle. Little thing in the middle. So you are creating a slip knot and then you are doing your single crochets around the end you pull and the side of the loop that you're making. That is a hard skill to learn to do. I mean, it sounds easier than it actually is, but it is a good trick. This is from the Woobles book. I overstuffed this one, but I made one of everything in the Woobles crochet book, and this is definitely an overstuffed toadstool, but I still think it's cute. And the next one won't be so stuffed. All right. So we were learning how to do that last night, and I had a few people that had never made one before. I had people that were brand new. Oh, really? It is not that. No, stop it. I hate it. Occasionally my computer thinks that this is a, there we go, external drive. It's not. It's a camera. Again, I need a new computer. I mean, it does everything I need to do. I just have to deal with the fact that it gets testy. All right. So when people were working on it last night, some people was their very, very first magic circle, and they were a little embarrassed that they were like, yes, I did it. I'm like, no, celebrate, please. Because it is not the easiest thing to learn to do. It really isn't. And I kept reminding people, look, this is not one of those skills that you're like, oh yeah, this is easy peasy, you know, I can just do it. It's not one of those instinctual, like when you're playing sports and you're like a natural. No. It's a skill. It is a skill. It takes time. And I kept telling them, look, it's just yarn. You know, it's just yarn. What's the worst that can happen? You get a knot, you cut it out, you start over. That's the worst that can happen with yarn. I really don't think that you could strangle yourself with the yarn. Though, maybe I'm wrong on that one. I don't know. You could probably tie yourself up in the yarn pretty well. Squish you in there. There. Glue dot in. I'm going back to the end. And I just wanted to get the E somewhat completed here. But like any crafting, people act like crafts are not skills. I mean, I kind of got mad when some people got silly about maker spaces and, you know, you're like, oh, we're getting back to maker space, you know, making things. And I'm like, what do you say to all those women who've been sewing and crafting and all of this stuff all along? Because that's a little, actually it's more than a little, it's a lot insulting to say that crafts are not part of the maker space. They are. They very much are, because this is a skill. This is an acquired skill to craft things. Anybody that tries to tell me it's not, here, I'm going to hand you something and say, make a magic circle. Have fun. I'm going to watch you. Because if it's not a skill, if it's not an actual skill, then you should be able to do this with right off the bat, no problem. And my E's going to look mushy, and I don't care. Because I made it, and it's allowed to be mushy. It's a pom-pom letter. It's going to look mushy. That's okay. I really like the maker spaces that include things like sewing machines and have like you know fiber craft nights where you can come in and work on like quilts and your sewing, your crafting of crochet or knitting or whatever. I think that's a really cool idea because in some ways, sometimes these skills have kind of gone out of fashion, and I think it's unfortunate. These are skills that our grandmothers knew. These were skills that you needed to survive because, department stores weren't the thing that they are now. Going down to the Target was not a thing. It was like if you bred sheep or one of your neighbor had them, then you could shear your sheep annually, and then you would get your yarn and all that good stuff, and then you would use the yarn to make sweaters and socks and hats and scarves for your family. It is legit a thing, and it was very necessary to know how to do these things in ages past. And I think that people have kind of downplayed that, and I think it's unfortunate because these are really handy skills to have. I mean, I remember learning how to sew on a button in home ec. I think that's a skill everybody should have. Because are you going to throw away the shirt because the button came off? No, you're just going to put it back on. But in home ec, you learn the little tricks like when you're sewing the button on, you get the initial piece of thread through, you get the button over, and you put the needle in where it's going to go, get a pin or another needle, and stick it between the fabric and your button. Why, you may ask? Because the tendency is to want to sew the button on too tight. Where did you go? I lost a pom-pom. Oh well, I will find it. If I'm one pom-pom off, that's okay. Because the tendency is to pull really tight, to pull the button directly next to the cloth, which gives it absolutely no flex for when you're actually, buttoning things. And you want a little bit of flex in the string and the sewing thread so that the button can wiggle and get in, and there's a little space between the button and the fabric that you're sewing it to, so when the second layer of fabric goes in through the buttonhole, you have room for it, and then it won't be too tight, therefore it won't pop off again as easily. Weird things you learn. One of the things I put on my Christmas list this year was DMC, who is a long-time crafting company, mostly known for their needlework materials, embroidery floss, that kind of thing. They have a repair loom, and it's a teeny weeny little loom that you can use to repair knitted things, fabric things. It basically lets you put the loom behind the hole or around the hole, and then you can create little woven patches to go over stuff. You could make those patches to look as much like the original fabric of the thing you're repairing, or you could opt to do colorful patches. You can even use it to do additional decoration. There's a thing in other cultures, I know the Japanese do it with pottery, kintsugi, where when you patch it or repair it, you make a feature out of it. So the Kitsune is doing that with pottery, and the repairs, when you put it back together, they cover it in gold. They do it with like gold paint to emphasize that it has been repaired. Look how pretty it is. Look at how when it breaks in these kind of patterns, which can be really, really pretty. So, celebrate the fact that it has been mended. I love that. I think that is a really neat way to look at things. I'm just making sure that the pom-pom did not end up in an easy to reach place, because of course it didn't. It ended up in a weird spot that I may have to look carefully to find. But there's a whole movement in repairing clothing that's like that too, where you make patches and boy, that really wandered off. Oh, no. Ha! I found it. So you make patches and mends and celebrate those changes. And I think that's a really kind of neat thing to do. And I especially would do that with anything that was made for me. All right, now before I do anything further, we've got 4, 6, 8, 9. Okay, so we got to fit 10 on here, so not a problem. So, I want to be able to preserve those things. I mean, you could do it with blankets, you could do it with clothing, you could do it with your socks. I mean, I found out from my husband, okay, so we get 4 aside, so I can fit 4 on there, that his father learned how to darn socks from his mother. And he was in the Navy between the Korean War and the Vietnam War. And he made extra money by darning socks for his crewmates because, they do inspection and your uniform needs to be up to snuff. And where are you going to go to buy more socks? You needed socks. You needed them to last as long as possible. So he darned socks for people and made money that way. And I thought that was kind of the coolest thing because he knew an old craft that most men would have gone, really? That's a woman's thing. But when you need it and you don't have mom there or grandma there to do it, you can do it yourself. You can learn how to do these things. So I thought that was really fun. It was like, go grandma crafts. And I like how people are making fun stuff now with these kinds of crafts. At work, we just got in the official Star Wars crochet pattern book. And it has so many cool things in it. It has amigurumi, of course. It has how to make a little Mace Windu. And a little Lando. Cape included. I laughed so hard. Lando in a cape. Oh, I'm so tempted. But they have how to make sort of your cosplay-y type stuff too. You can make Han's vest. You can make a scarf that looks like Chewie's bandolier. They've got a winter hat that looks like Wicket's ears and his hood. They have a cowl that looks sort of like what Jyn Erso wears in Rogue One. So, I mean, it's a lot of fun stuff in there. So, and there's a beautiful like Tatooine sunset blanket that, yeah, I want to try, but it involves patterns and stuff and charts and stuff, and I'm like very intimidated by the idea of making a full size blanket. I think it does terrify me, but it's so pretty, and to be able to say I made this thing would be amazing. But I definitely put the book on my Christmas list. It's on there. I have like the strangest looking Christmas list. I mean, if you want to know, go look at my throne sometime, because that's very stream of consciousness. All the things I like to do. Push down. Okay. We have a Noel ornament made with little pom poms and a lumpy looking E, but that's okay. It's fine. You can tell it's an E. It's a lumpy E, but it's an E. Oh, you turned sideways. That's weird. Get there. Okay. Better. So, more ornaments. I will have to take a picture of my tree once we get it up with all of these crazy ornaments I'm making from the crafting books or crafting advent calendar. So that's it for today. Thank you for coming. I'll be back tomorrow. I'll be trying to do this about noon and then usual stream at 4. So have a great rest of your day. Thanks for coming.